Hello everyone, welcome to Himalaya channel. In this video, we are going to continue with the discussion of medieval history questions. So the first question, which one of the following Muslim ruler was hailed as Jagat Guru by his Muslim subjects because of his belief in secularism? Is it Hussein Shah, Zainul Abidin, Ibrahim Adil Shah, Muhammad II? Okay, the options given are Bahmani kingdom rulers. So the correct answer is Ibrahim Adil Shah. He was considered as Jagat Guru because his strong belief in secularism. Okay, so he was buried in famous Gol Gumbaz. The next question, one consistent feature found in the history of southern Indian kingdoms, okay, was the growth of small regional kingdoms rather than large empire. Why? It is because of, is it due to the absence of minerals like iron, too many divisions in the social structure, absence of vast areas of fertile land, the scarcity of manpower? Means the question is, unlike North Indian kingdoms, the South Indian kingdoms are specific to smaller regions. Why? So here, if we try to analyze, it won't be because of absence of minerals like iron. We get iron even in South India. So this option we can strike it off. The scarcity of manpower, this we can strike it off. Too many divisions in social structure. It is not specific only to the South India. This also we can strike it off. It is the absence of vast areas of fertile land. Okay, like Ganga plain, Indus plain, like that, we find absence of such vast fertile land. Okay, so the answer is the absence of vast areas of fertile land. Here we can remember that Vijayanagara and Bahmani kingdoms, they fought for Raichur Doab. It is a fertile region between Tungabhadra and Krishna river. The next question, consider the following statements. The striking feature of Jama Masjid in Kashmir completed the Zain ul Abidin. Okay, completed by the Zain ul Abidin include. Okay, we need to identify the features of this Jama Masjid, which is in Srinagar, Kashmir. Okay, Turret, similarity between Buddhist pagodas, similarity with Buddhist pagodas. Next one is Persian style. Fine. Here, what is the meaning of Turret? Okay, let us see the options here. Which of the following statements is or are correct? Is it only like Turret or all the three Buddhist pagodas, Turret as well as the Persian style, or only 2 and 3 or 1 and 3? Here the answer is actually all the three, 1, 2 and 3. Here this Jama Masjid in Srinagar, it was started by Sultan Sikandar Shah of Shahmiri in 1394. Okay, in 1394 he started it, and it was extended by his son Zain ul Abidin. Here Turret means it is a small tower projecting from a wall, and pagodas, we know, just like vimanas in the South Indian temples, we can find pagodas in Buddhist temple architecture here. So pagodas are like tower-like multi-story structures, and it also has a Persian style. Means here all the three features can be found in this Jama Masjid, which is found in Srinagar, Kashmir. Then the next question, the Badami rock inscription of Pulakeshi first is dated in the Saka era 465. If the same were to be dated in Vikram Samvat, the year would be the options 601, B 300, C 330, D 407. So what is the question? Question is that they have given a date which is counted from Saka era 465 year. Okay, so we need to calculate the same date which should be represented in Vikram era. So here, to solve this question, we need to know when Saka era started. Okay, from when we calculate this Saka era. So Saka era, it begins from 78 AD. Okay, Vikram Samvat or Vikram era, it starts from 56 or 57. They say 58 also. Okay, there is a confusion here. Okay, 57 or 58 we can take BC. Okay, Saka era 78 AD and Vikram era 58 BC. Okay, so here just add the Saka era years here. 465 we should add 78, we get 543, and to that add Vikram years, that is 58 years again to it, to go back to Vikram Samvat. Okay, so if we add 78, that is Saka, as well as 58 Vikram, we can calculate the Vikram Samvat, that is 601. So the answer is 601. The next one, building Kalyana Mantapas was a notable feature in the temple construction in the kingdom of. Okay, here is it Chalukya, Chandela, Rashtrakuta, Vijayanagara. Okay, so do we find Kalyana Mantapa in Chalukya temples, Badami, Aihole, Pattadakallu, or is it Chandela rulers who built the temples, for example, Khajuraho temples, Rashtrakutas, for example, famous Kailash temple in Ellora, okay, and others. Last one is Vijayanagara. Okay, so here the option is, the best answer is Vijayanagara. Why? Vijayanagara temples are having such notable features: Kalyana Mantapas, okay, Amman shrines, and lot of Raya Gopuras, and even in temples we find lot of pillars, and on those pillars the notable sculpture is horse. Okay, so these are the important features of Vijayanagara temples, and they are in Dravida style. Next question, regarding the taxation system of Krishnadevaraya, the ruler of Vijayanagara, consider the following statements. The tax rate on land was fixed depending on the quality of the land. Private owners of workshops paid an industries tax. So here, which of the statements given above is or are correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. So here, we should know that, so land was surveyed, okay, depending upon the quality of land, whether it is fertile, drought, based upon that tax was fixed. Means the first statement becomes correct here. And coming to the second statement, here under Vijayanagara kingdom, so lot of sources, okay, through lot of sources taxes were imposed, not only on the produce, even on the profession also. So by that, if we go, even the second statement also becomes true. Private owners of workshops paid an industries tax. So the answer is both 1 and 2. The next question, when Raja Odayar founded the kingdom of Mysore, who was the ruler of the Vijayanagara empire? The options, Sadashiva, B. Tirumala, C. Ranga II, D. Venkata II. Okay. So what is the correct answer? So we should know that Vijayanagara kingdom. Okay. 4 dynasties: Sangama, Saluva, Tuluva, and Aravidu. Okay. So after Aliya Ramaraya, he was killed in famous Battle of Talikota, 1565 AD. His brother Tirumala Devaraya established Aravidu dynasty. Okay. And under Aravidu dynasty, capital was Penukonda in Andhra Pradesh. So after Tirumala Devaraya, this dynasty was ruled by Sriranga Devaraya, and after him comes the Venkata II. Okay, Venkata II, and during his rule only the Wadiyas of Mysore established. Okay, and after Venkata II, many rulers will come. The last ruler of Vijayanagara kingdom is Sriranga III. Sriranga III. Okay, 1642 to 1646 AD. So here, according to the question, the answer is D. Venkata II. Next one. How did the dynasty of Nizam Shahis of Ahmednagar come to an end? Ahmednagar was annexed into Mughal Empire and Hussain Shah was consigned to life imprisonment. The second option, Mughal troops destroyed Daulatabad fort and killed Nizamul Mulk of Ahmednagar. The third statement, Fateh Khan usurped the throne from Nizamul Mulk. The fourth statement, Malik Ambar was defeated in a battle with Mughals in 1631 and the entire royal family was killed by the Mughal troops. So we need to identify the correct statement here. So what is the answer? Answer is the statement A. Ahmednagar was annexed into Mughal Empire and Hussain Shah was consigned to life imprisonment. The next question. With reference to Sufism in Indian history, consider the following statements. Sheikh Ahmad Sarhandi was a contemporary of Ibrahim Lodi. Sheikh Naziruddin Chirg-e-Dehlavi was a disciple of Sheikh Nizamuddin Auliya. The third statement, Aurangzeb was a contemporary of Sheikh Salim Chishti. The fourth statement, the Qadiri order of Sufis was first introduced in India by Sheikh Niyamatullah and Muqaddam Muhammad Zilani. So here we need to identify the correct statements. Is it 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 4? Here, if you look into the statements, so the third statement I can relate it to. Here, Aurangzeb was a contemporary of Sheikh Salim Chishti. This seems to be wrong. Why? Because it was not Aurangzeb, it was Akbar. Akbar was a contemporary of Sheikh Salim Chishti. So, strike out wherever the third statement is given. Here, 3 if we cancel. Here, 1 and 2 and 2 and 4. So, the second statement is anyways it is correct. We need to check first and 4. So here, the first statement is also correct. During Ibrahim Lodi itself, the Sheikh Ahmad Sahrandi was also there. He was contemporary to Ibrahim Lodi. So the fourth statement is wrong because Qadiri order was introduced in the Indian subcontinent by Syed Abdul Rahman Zilani of Delhi. Okay, not Sheikh Niyamatullah and Muqaddam Muhammad Zilani. Okay. So again I will tell, Qadiri order, it was spread in Indian subcontinent by Syed Abdul Rahman Zilani of Delhi. So next one is the CSAT question. Read the following passage and answer accordingly. passage. An air quality index is a way to combine measurements of multiple air pollutants into a single number or rating. This index is ideally kept constantly updated and available in different places. The air quality index is most useful when lots of pollution data are being gathered and when pollution levels are normally, but not always, low. In such cases, if pollution levels spike for a few days, the public can quickly take preventive action, like staying indoors, in response to an air quality warning. Unfortunately, that is not urban India. Pollution levels in many large Indian cities are so high that they remain well above any health or regulatory standard for large part of the year. If our index stays in the red or dangerous region day after day, there is not much anyone can do other than getting used to ignoring it. So given the passage here, which among the following is the most logical and rational inference that can be made from the above passage? Here, option A, our governments are not responsible enough to keep our cities pollution free. Is it true? Okay. Is it the government not responsible? Okay. The option B, there is absolutely no need for air quality indices in our country. Air quality index is not helpful to the residents of many of our large cities. Fourth statement, in every city, public awareness about pollution problem should increase. Okay. So here, the first statement seems to be wrong. Our governments are not responsible enough to keep our cities pollution free. Okay. There is absolutely no need for air quality indices. This is also extreme statement. We can strike it off. In every city, public awareness about the pollution should increase, but this is not the summary of the passage. So what is the summary of the passage? It is the option C. Air quality index is not helpful to the residents of many of our large cities. Okay. So hope you found this video useful. Thank you. Thank you for listening.